Hi guys, how you doing? Just give you a quick update of where we've got. I haven't had a lot of time recently, but I've managed to get all these blocks cleaned up. We've still got a few more over there to get done, but I've got most of the blocks now cleaned up for the entire 3 extra rows that are going to go up. So I've got some ties to go in up that wall there, and then this is 16mm just steel bar that I've got left over from the front gates that I made. So I'm going to put one in there, and then as we walk down, you can see I've got one more in. I've been told I actually don't need these, but I just feel a bit safer knowing that they're there. And then I'll put one either end of the door there. So that one's in the wrong place, but I'll put it at the end. And then I'll have one more. I don't think I'm going to stick one in that row there because it's such a short wall. It's going to be tied in anyway. So I might do. I've still got some steel line about. So everything in here is put together with lime mortar. That's why I could clean up all the bricks. And I'm going to continue to use lime because if I need to modify the wall or take part of it down, I can do so without replacing the blocks. I just clean them off like I have this time. Plus it's a bit eco-friendly. So with these studs, they will be drilled through the base, or the lime mortar base that's down at the minute. And then I'll resin them in using some J-Fix ground anchor resin. And then obviously as they protrude up, I'll fill each block on the ones that obviously have studs, right as far as they go up basically. I'm also, well, I tried to use a string line, as you can see down there. But where it's 14 meters, doesn't really matter how much I pull that line, there's still a dip in the middle. Something else obviously that I've done, as you can see, I've got the site level there. This wall, or the floor, climbs 2 inches from that end over there to this end here. So that's quite a lot, but obviously, you know, at the end of the day, it's an old chicken shed, and I'm not going to level this thing. There's no chance. I'm not going to even bother trying. So it'll be a case of build the wall pretty much straight. I mean, it is fairly straight. It just happens to be climbing 2 inches as it climbs back into the workshop. So it'll be a case of build it as it is. It won't go up to the entire ceiling anyway, because I'm gonna, this block that is out here doesn't line up with the outside wall block. So it'll actually, by the time we get to the very top, there'll be half a block missing. So when this wall's built up to the eaves there, there'll be half a block lower than the outside wall, which is exactly what I actually want. So I want to put in a false roof that has a slight slant on it, just in case the roof starts to leak in a few places. It's not just going to sit above and cause loads of damage. So I'm hoping to have a slight slant in that roof. So it works out quite well. Also with this wall, as the other one goes up 2 inches from front of the workshop to this midpoint, or near the back of the workshop, this wall also climbs, I think it's 38mm. So what I've actually done on here, because obviously this would actually be leaning outwards if I didn't close up the gap of the blocks, I think. I've actually just trimmed the blocks down. So I've just cut all these blocks, started off at the end, and obviously I've got that's why that laser's down there. So I laser lined across the blocks, and I've cut them, and then I'll just bring them back up to wherever they need to be. I didn't try and fancy doing it in the mortar as I go up, because I've had to slowly close a 38mm gap, which look, I don't know how I would have done that. So, and it might have looked a bit funky. So if I just cut the blocks, and then that counters for the slope, I mean, like I say, they'll be tied into that wall anyway. So, but hopefully this corner will still be plumb. That'd be nice. I mean, I've never built a wall before, so should be interesting. So as I said, obviously stringing it, or block stringing it, or line stringing it, or whatever it's called, not a builder, That doesn't really work because it's so long. At 14 meters, it dips in the middle. There are these little bits you can get. In fact, I'll walk down and show you that assist with keeping the line up, but they don't really seem to look like they're going to work for me because I haven't put, maybe once you've put the first line of bricks in, let's see if I can find them. Oh yeah, there they are. Oh, and there's the ties, there's the wall ties there. So yeah, I think once you've got the first line of bricks in, then I can do it. But other than that, yeah, not a builder. These are the wall ties. So you just drill a hole and then this pulls in apparently. I mean, it doesn't look very secure to me, but hey, what do I know there? Apparently that's what they use. They're called tiger fixings. Sure, why not? It looks pretty legit on the back. Drill a hole, slot it in, and then it expands and holds itself in the block. It's even got like a little drip washer in there to stop moisture clinging to the steel that might be in a cavity wall. Obviously these aren't, but you know, potentially that's quite a good idea. There's the rest of the blocks that have got to be done. I'll get a video up of me laying the first line of bricks once I've actually got the balls to start putting it down. Oh, I did also buy some lime and sand. I've got NHL 3.5, which is the standard sort of building hydraulic lime. I don't know if it even says on there. Oh yeah. So it's natural hydraulic lime, 3.5. Just a 3-to-1 mix with some wash sharp sand. But I've used lime mortar before. It's really easy to work with. Doesn't go off very quickly, unlike concrete. Well, to be fair, when you read online about concrete, it says it goes off within like so many hours and you can still push the wall down. So I don't know why they say that, but whatever. I suppose if it's fast set or something, but I mean, realistically, it's not going to matter if it's up and down wonky, because this whole workshop happens to be up, down and wonky. I mean, if you look at some of these gaps versus how big that gap is, I mean, yeah, and a lot of the bricks, a lot of the blocks, should I say, in certain places, just, oh yeah, we'll just line them up. Yeah, look right there, that's a bit of good brickwork. Yeah, nah, sod that. Line them up, no problem. Like, how, why have they done that, and how have they done that? Like, something I missed is this. This is the other component that I'm going to be using, the J-Fix polyester resin, which is like a ground anchor resin. This one's used, but I've got another one, and that will be what I put into those studs, or the bars that I'm putting into the ground. Whether it'd do anything, I don't know. Not the J-Fix, that'd do something because that stuff's crazy solid. But whether the bars will do anything, I'm not 100% sure. But I just drilled the first hole and it went all right. So I thought I'd video this one. And that's straight down to clay. Check my bar goes in. It's actually pretty thick. That was much thinner back there. That's definitely mud now. Then I'll just resin fill that and I'll get the others done. Well, I was just deciding where to put this last bar. I was going to put it right in the corner, and then I was like, well, should I put it a couple in because the corner's going to be strong, obviously, but I am going to put it in the corner. And then I started to panic that maybe the block wasn't in the right place, but I don't know if you can see that. So that's the 1, 3, 587 is from the wall edge, and then the 1359 is from this end over here. Well, that camera focuses quickly. It's a couple of mil. I'm not even going to bother tweaking it. I'm sure it will probably move. Plus I can still tweak it because I'm going to drill the hole for the bar straight in the center. So that's all drilled out now. I didn't want to move that block because it's pretty perfectly set, and it took me a while to get it there. Obviously I appreciate if you're a professional builder you might just easily bang it down, but it took me a while to get that exactly to the millimeter or near millimeter perfect. I will just show you actually, I made the doorway a bit bigger. So I've made the door 4 blocks wide now instead of 3. I think 3 was 36 inches, so whatever 4 is. But I've made it 4 wide so I can get the dyno and the fan through the doorway, just in case I have an issue and I don't want to roll it round or, you know, other bits and bobs. I've also had a thought on the flooring. I was going to resin it. Obviously there is like a 38mm drop, but I can make the framework for the dyno, and it's got pads. I don't know if you'll be able to see them. You can't even see them. There's pads underneath the dyno when you lay it down, and obviously you want cars flat so they don't try to slide off the dyno as such, regardless of whether they're strapped or not. And the resin I was looking at could level up to something like 50 or 60 mil, and I've only got a 38mm drop at the highest to lowest point. And it was going to cost me around, I think, 15 to 1700 quid, something like that, by the time I get all the rollers, the things to walk over it, enough obviously resin to self-level. And obviously I need some insulation now, or sound deadening. So this is what we had in the old dyno room, which are quite soft, if I can show you. They're really quite soft mats. Now they're really good for sound deadening, but I have seen online, they're harder obviously, but some PVC, recycled PVC tiles, they're calling them. I think they're 12mm or 11mm thick, and you can go over them with a car or a forklift truck, obviously with weight specifications. And I think I can do the whole workshop for around the sort of 12 to 1500 pound mark. So it's a little bit cheaper, but it's not really for that. It's that you can do checker patterns and it looks smart. And I can level the dyno and the ramps, so the sort of the ramps that the cars will sit on and stuff. I can level all that like mechanically with, you know, welding in plates or making the legs slightly longer. I mean, it's not too much. I mean, over the distance of how wide the ramps are, I'd imagine it'll only be about 20mm at the most. I mean, I can check it, but so I might go in tiles instead. It will obviously mean that if I drop a tool or a break disc on the floor, it won't chip where resin will chip. I can replace the panels easily if there's a problem. They're oil resistant, so they're all like chemical resistant to a point, obviously, but the sort of chemicals that I'm going to drop on them, they're resistant to that. You can lift the tiles up, move them around. You can write your name out in them, because I'm going to get dark grey and light grey, and I'll probably do a complete checker floor. Hopefully it won't be too dark, but obviously those black tiles would have been dark no matter what colour resin that I'd have put down. So hopefully, I think that's the way I might go. I'm not 100% sure. Obviously levelling the floor is, well, I don't even notice it's not level, but potentially it could be fairly important. I mean, it's important for the dyno point of view, because you don't want a car wanting to slide either way on the rolling road. I mean, they're strapped down, so it wouldn't, but why add that like complexity? Do you know what I mean? That thought process is, I don't need to think about it if it's leveled. But as I say, I can level that on steel plates. So yeah, we've got an option of that. I might throw up a photo of what it looks like. I quite like it. I think it looks better than resined floor. That just looks like a normal industrial floor workshop. I might do the whole entire workshop, so all around, pretty much everywhere, I mean, it's permanent now. I don't have to move it. I don't do shows anymore. We used to do the BHP show at Lyddon. Don't do shows anymore. I'm not going to get kicked out of this workshop because it's mine. So I can actually mount the thing how I want. I definitely want it out of the ground. They suck in the ground. I don't know why people put them in the ground. They're a pain in the arse to strap cars down to. I hate them. But with the frames as well, you can get underneath the car if you wanted. I mean, it's all right. But the framework's going to be the same height as that because that was the framework I used to use to put the dyno on the end of that. So it means you can get under the car, sort out the exhaust if it's rattling. You can work on the underside. You can even drain the oil and, you know, do an oil change with it sitting on the dyno. You know, check exhaust bungs. You can even install, you know, wideband lambdas like while it's on the dyno. You don't have to worry about getting it up on the ramp first. All right, it's not as easy, but I'm used to working on the floor with the Geo system. So yeah, hopefully tiles. And then hopefully as well, I'll man up and start laying this wall soon because it's been nerve-wracking. Obviously, I've never laid a wall before. I'm fairly sure it's pretty simple, but it'd be nice to have someone else here to go, no, don't do it like that, but you know.
Thanks for watching, guys. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos, subscribe, hit that bell and get the notifications. You can also check us out on Facebook. The link's going to be in the description. Thanks for watching and we'll see you soon.